Hello, Craig Castler here. I just wanted to shoot a quick video and let you know how this whole thing got started for me. Years ago, I worked for Cessna Finance Corporation, and my job was to sell aircraft financing. It was a great job as far as jobs go. I had an 8-state territory. I had a company airplane that I flew around, and my job primarily was to go around and wine and dine customers to get them to do business with them. Pretty good job, right? Got paid pretty well. But then all of a sudden, let's see, back in 91, I believe it was, Textron bought Cessna Aircraft Company out, and they eliminated our whole division. So I had this career, I thought, all established for the rest of my life. Everything was going great. Then all of a sudden it disappeared. Corporate America just pulled the rug out from underneath me. Have you ever experienced that before? It's not a pleasant experience, I can tell you that. Well, years passed, and I ended up back in the aviation business, and I was working with a company that we built aircraft interiors. Great company, been around since the 1950s, very strong, very stable. There are about 400 or 500 employees. It was still small enough, but big enough that it was a great place. Most of us knew each other. It was great. And then with the economy turn and all this stuff, that company sold out to someone else. So we went from a company that was 400 or 500 people up to a company that was about 1,500. It was all right, not a big transition. But then that company a year later sold out again to a bigger company. And then we went to a company of 1,500. Then we went up to like 2,500 or something like that. And then guess what? It happened again. And then we jumped up to like a 25,000 employee company. That's when we really started feeling all the changes happening. We kind of quit being a person and started to become a number. And then just last year, that company sold out again. There was a joke going around that we were just going to put our name badges on Velcro so we could just change out with the new company, whatever that might be. But anyway, we sold out to a Fortune top 50, I think, company, and ended up being a part of a company with 250,000 employees. My goodness, what a change. Everything that happened from that point on made it harder for us to do business. It wasn't pleasant. Have you ever experienced that? It's crazy. So anyway, I started looking for other things. And I went all the way back to my first real job when I sold aircraft financing. I started looking at that, and I used to, let me put it to you that way, I used to look at people's financial statements when they're interested in buying an aircraft, if we could fund them or not. That's a different kind of application. It's not applying for a car loan or a credit card where they just do your credit check. They do a complete financial review on you. And there's a number of people that I looked at that, a few years earlier, they were doing very well, and then they had a bad business deal, or they got sued or something, and they ended up being broke. But then a few years later, they're multimillionaires again. And that really hit me. How in the world do the people transition like that? And then I hear stories about people that become lottery winners or whatever, and all of a sudden become millionaires. And statistics show that it's something crazy, like 85 or 90% of those winners end up losing it all within 5 years and actually are in worse case financially than they were before. So I got to thinking here, how could someone who is wealthy lose all their money and gain their wealth back real quick, but then someone who is not wealthy gets a lot of money and then loses it? Well, the whole thing I figured out is all in the mind. And then I started looking into some other things. I'll get into that on the next video. But I started to realize right there that there was a game called money. You either know how to play the game, going back to the people who had money, lost it, bad business deal or whatever, and then make it back within a few short years. Those people know how to play the game. On the other hand, the people that all of a sudden had money coming into them, like a lottery winner, or they even say that a lot of pro sports team players have the same thing. All of a sudden they're in all this wealth, but their mind's not there yet. And if they don't make a long-time career of it, they're in worse shape ever when they get out of football or basketball or baseball, whatever the case is. So it's that money game, and it's all up here in the mind. I'll continue on the next video and tell you a little bit about what I figured out. Take care. See you on the next one.